Have you ever thought about the age that teens start driving? Doesn't 16 seem a little young to be driving on your own? Try to imagine yourself as a 16-year-old. You just got your driver's license and are going to go cruising with your friends tonight. At about 10 o'clock that night, your eyes are not on the road at all, and you crash head-on with another car. Two of your friends die on the scene, and your other friend is very badly injured. For thousands of teens each year, this is a reality. 16-year-old drivers are 3 times more likely to crash than 17-year-old drivers, 5 times more likely to crash than 18-year-old drivers, and 2 times more likely to crash than 80-year-olds. I believe that the driving age should be raised to 18 in order to protect people for many different reasons. I've done a lot of research lately on teen crashes and deaths. If the driving age was raised, so many teen lives would be saved. Is driving at 15 or 16 really worth increasing the chance of dying? By just raising the driving age, we can help to protect teen lives each day. How do you feel about raising the driving age? Have you ever even really given it any thought? Changing the driving age to 18 is a great idea because there would be so many fewer deaths and accidents. According to the National Highway Traffic Administration, 3,827 drivers in the ages 15 to 20 died in 2010. 180 fewer died in the same age group in 2011. Many different countries have done studies on raising the driving age and have found that the younger that someone begins driving, the more likely they are to crash. It has also been proven that because younger people's brains are not fully developed, their chances are reduced because they are more likely to be irresponsible and an unsafe driver. This is the main reason why I feel it is a good idea to change the driving age. Raising the driving age would allow more time to teach young teens how to drive. I know that I had hardly any experience when I first got my driver's license. Many countries have a program called Graduated Driver System. This system has shown great results when it comes to less teen driving accidents in the past few years. It works because it requires teens to take a class-based and a road-based course. Once they pass the course, they receive their license. However, as teen drivers, they still have many restrictions set. Some of these include times they are allowed to drive, maintaining a blood alcohol content under 0.1%, and the number of passengers they can have in the vehicle with them. These restrictions create experienced drivers over time. One last reason to raise the driving age is because 16 and 17-year-olds have little to no driving experience at all. It has been proven so many times that the longer you practice at something, the better you will get at it. Wouldn't you much rather have your teenage son or daughter go through a program like this and have enough time to practice so that they will be experienced drivers? Now that I have driving experience, I look back and I see how unprepared I was when I first got my license. Lack of experience is the #1 reason why teenagers get into so many car accidents each year. Teenagers have never dealt with weather problems, construction issues, animals on the road, and car problems, so they have no idea how they should react and handle problems that may occur. Even though seatbelts protect them, teens have the lowest seatbelt usage today, and it is now required by law that you wear a seatbelt every time you are in the vehicle. In my opinion, I also believe that it would be helpful if cops did more seatbelt checks. I believe that this would encourage more teens to always wear their seatbelt because they would never know when they may be checked. There are many people who are against changing the driving age to 18. Some people argue that it would not be fair to the teenagers who could have been able to drive, and they would have to rely on their parents to take them wherever they may need to go. Yes, this does sound like a problem. However, those teens who would be driving and possibly getting in accidents are getting driven by more experienced drivers, which really decreases their chance of dying in a car accident. Another reason some people argue with this is because car dealerships would lose quite a bit of money. I do not see this as being completely true because most teens today do not get a brand new car from the dealership right when they get their license. One last reason is that it is basically punishing the teens of today for the mess ups of all the people who have crashed in the past. However, raising the driving age is not in any way to punish teenagers. It is to protect them from being badly injured or maybe even killed in a bad car accident. Although many people are against raising the driving age, this chart shows a poll that was taken last April to see what the majority of people believed the driving age should be. 46% of Americans believe that the driving age should be 18, while 26% believe that it should be changed to over 21. Just 22% of Americans thought that the driving age should be under the age of 18, and I agree with them. Sometimes a teen may be skilled at driving, however they may make bad choices in the places they go, which affects their driving ability. For example, many teens go to parties and are pressured to do things. Drinking is an example. Underage drinking is very popular and is a cause to many teen wrecks. When you are intoxicated, your ability to drive goes way down. By agreeing and supporting to raise the driving age to 18, you will be helping to save hundreds of teen lives every year. Tell your friends or family member why they should also choose to support it. In order for the driving age to change, we must get more people to support the problem. Even if it never happens, people must know the risk of teens driving too early. You see parents of young children all the time on the news who have lost their teens in an automobile accident. They have to live the rest of their lives without their children. Their child could have lived if only they were older when they hit the roads. I believe that if people really understood the number of crashes that could be prevented by having more time to practice driving, everyone would agree that the driving age should be raised to 18. More teens have died while driving than the number of people who died in 9/11 and the number of American soldiers who died before and after the war in Iraq. It is obvious to see that young teenagers are not ready for driving because they are not nearly experienced enough or mature enough to be good drivers. Raising the driving age is the best way to protect teens from being involved in accidents.